It's called the Wizard 2, and for all intents and purposes, it's a set of Joy-Cons for the original Nintendo Switch, but it can do so much more. With the help from the included wireless adapter, you can use it on the original Nintendo GameCube or a compatible Nintendo Wii. Also, that said wireless adapter does have a USB-C port, so you can use it wirelessly on a PC, Windows or Mac. It has Bluetooth, so yes, you can also use it on Android or iOS mobile devices like phones and tablets. Now, I've been testing it over the past few weeks, and in this video we're going to go over what I think of it, and also a little bit out of the scope of the video, I have been using it on the Nintendo Switch 2, but not in the way that you might think. So first of all, let's do an unboxing and have a look at the NYXI Wizard 2 in all its glory. Now, I was so excited to get this. So on the box it says the Wizard 2 Bluetooth controller for Nintendo Switch, Nintendo GameCube, Wii and PC. If we have a look at the back of the box, we're going to get some more information like the TMR Hall Effect joysticks, that wireless adapter for the GameCube and Wii, and of course 6-axis gyro, and it does have the NFC chip in it as well, so you can use your amiibos. Now, opening up the box, we can see we've got the controller itself in a protective bag. We'll look at that in a moment, and then we have the accessories. There's a couple of things going on in here, so let's have a quick look now. Of course, you do get instructions so you know how to use it, and I'd recommend that for the turbo functions and programming the buttons, etc. We do have two USB-A to USB-C cables. I dare say one for charging the controller stroke Joy-Cons themselves, and the other for this wireless adapter. If you do want to use it on the PC, then you're going to plug it into the USB-C port. And having a closer look at this adapter, it looks really cool. I like the logo button on the front. That's obviously to sync up the Joy-Cons, and as I said, there's a USB-C port on the top. That will go into the computer, and then you can use the controller wirelessly on the computer. And then of course we have that GameCube controller port. Looking at the controller itself, I'm actually really excited because the all-white design looks really nice. Now, of course, you've got to remember these are Joy-Cons at the end of the day, so you can see those seams going down. But the C-stick, the analog stick, the layout of the buttons, of course, it just screams GameCube. And they feel really nice. The analog sticks are nice, and then all the buttons are micro switches, so they're very clicky, very satisfying to press. Now, the triggers are actually dual triggers, so what you can do is you can have them set to normal analog triggers, and then you can flip the buttons across and it will make them into clicky buttons. We do have a USB-C charging port at the top, so of course you can charge it as a controller itself, and you never have to take them off, but as you can see, this is how they come off. We've got the right and left one, because at the end of the day, they are Joy-Cons. Now, I really like the white minimalist, and there's no RGB here, but I still love it. Don't worry, I'm not going to be hating on it because there's no RGB. Now, as I said, I've been testing this controller over the past 2 weeks. I've been using it on the GameCube, the original Switch, I even tested it on the Wii and the PC, but the majority of the testing has been done on my Switch 2. And I don't mean docked mode using the TV, I mean actually attaching these Joy-Cons to my Switch 2. Now, before you get all excited, no, this controller doesn't natively support the Switch 2. But what I've done is I've designed some Switch 1 to Switch 2 adapters, which basically means any controllers that you can attach to the Switch 1 you'll be able to use on the Switch 2. Now, there are some caveats with that. They don't connect directly with the data pins and power, etc., because that would require a whole new connection. What they do is they magnetize to the Switch 2, and then you can use these like a normal Joy-Con, like they're attached, but they're actually communicating wirelessly. And of course, they won't charge from the Switch 2. I can get on board with that because The Switch 2 obviously is quite expensive. You only get one set of Joy-Cons, and if you're a massive Nintendo fan like I am, you're probably going to have a ton of Joy-Cons lying around, maybe third-party ones. So that's why I decided to make these, design them, 3D print them, and they'll basically work with anything. So I am going to be doing a separate video on the Joy-Con adapters, and they're going to be on MakerWorld, etc. So the STL files will be regularly available for anyone to download for free. I'm not going to be selling these adapters. You can just basically make them yourself. Now, of course, I will be helping people out, as always, in the Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description below. Hello, Future JP here. Now, I just wanted to let you know that NYXI are going to be making Switch 2 compatible Joy-Cons by the end of the year. They've told me that if you follow them on social media, you'll be the first ones to find out. Because of right now, there is no third-party Joy-Cons for the Switch 2. Maybe the NYXI ones are going to be the very first. Anyway, back to the video. But anyway, let's carry on looking at this Wizard 2 controller because it's absolutely fantastic. So, I've had lots of Joy-Cons sent by lots of companies. My favourites up till now was the Hyperions. And yeah, they're actually made by the same company. But these ones, the Wizard 2, these are my new favourite Joy-Cons. To the point where I use them on my Nintendo Switch 2 all the time. So let's have a look at it in action while I play some games. So I was most excited about using the Wizard 2 with my Nintendo GameCube. So we're playing Pikmin here, and then we do move over to Paper Mario, and just playing these classic games with a decent wireless controller makes all the difference. Then we moved over to Mario Kart Double Dash, and it does feel like a proper controller, not an afterthought where you stick two Joy-Cons together like Nintendo give you those center sections. It feels really nice and the clicky buttons are awesome. So I decided to connect them to my original Switch and play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and yeah, they feel really nice. The clicky buttons, the analog sticks, it's just a really nice and really comfortable experience. But of course, I did connect them to the Switch too, because that's where I play most of my Nintendo Switch games at the moment. And yeah, same again. They work absolutely perfect. Obviously, out of the box, you're just going to be able to use this controller with the Switch 2 on the docked mode, but these adapters, I am going to be releasing these files. The video is coming, so you'll be able to attach them to your Switch 2 as well. Now, of course, the Switch 2 does have GameCube games now, and as this is a GameCube styled controller, I thought I'd play some Soul Calibur, and again, it just feels really nice. So I am actually going to be using these controllers a lot more going forward. We did play some F-Zero as well, which is another GameCube game on the Nintendo Online Store, and no problems whatsoever. It works really well. I'm so impressed with it. Now, I have put a link in the description below so you can pick up one of these controllers yourself. It is an affiliate link, so I will get a little bit of a kickback, and that of course will help support the channel so I can keep reviewing and testing all these different peripherals, controllers, etc. So what's my overall thoughts and opinions on this controller? Well, if it wasn't clear by now, it is my favourite controller to date, and I've got so many controllers and Joy-Cons that I've used in the past. I love the fact that I can use it wirelessly on my GameCube. I'm actually going to be doing a HDMI upgrade to my GameCube, so that will come in a later video, but this just makes me want to play it more, because the only controllers I've got for the GameCube at the moment are those wired ones. So now I'm purely going to be using this Wizard 2. It's just a fantastic controller. It's a great Joy-Con as well. And now at long last we have GameCube games in the Nintendo Online for the Switch 2. This is just a perfect controller to play those old classic GameCube games. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a GameCube, it's still worth picking one of these up, because like I said, you can use that USB-C on the top of it to use it, say, on your PC or Mac. So that about wraps it up for this video. But what do you think of the Wizard 2? Do you have a GameCube? Maybe it's in your attic. Get it dusted off, get one of these controllers and start enjoying those old classic games again. I'm JP, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.